Zombies, musical, Christmas. What is not to like about this week's selection, Anna and the Apocalypse? So right at the top here, I want to take just a moment to say that, of course, all around the country and all around the world, everyone is suffering kind of through the pandemic that the coronavirus has become. It's going to be a short episode for this Sunday. I really just wanted to make sure I got something out so I didn't miss another Sunday, but I also didn't want to take up a lot of time to record, and I didn't want to take a lot of your time because I know you have better things to do than watch or listen to my review. But I did want to offer you just a few minutes of escapism from the reality of the world around us and how crazy things are. I had this kind of in my back pocket. It was a movie that I saw on a flight back at Christmas time, and a Christmas selection, probably why it was in the queue at that point. And I just never got around to doing a review of it because it's a zombie musical. So what are you going to do, right? But I just felt like this is a movie that is kind of apropos for the time. Everybody's kind of worried about viruses and, maybe just a little bit of escapism of the funniness of a zombie movie at Christmas tied into a musical. Well, I hope that no one finds it offensive. Offense is not intended. I just thought that it would be kind of apropos and that it would be a little bit of time for people to forget about everything bad that they're hearing in the news and hear about a really funny movie and maybe find something that we could all watch while we're locked in, because it is available on streaming right now. So again, this week's movie, Anna and the Apocalypse. Checked it out on a flight. Wouldn't have watched it otherwise, probably, even though it is a musical, which I do love, and it is a zombie movie, which I do love. But it's a Christmas movie, and you guys remember I have like a bit of a feeling about Christmas movies in general. Just the same, let's just take a few minutes and discuss Anna and the Apocalypse. And of course, we're going to start with the pleasantries, so let's go ahead and get those out of the way. Anna and the Apocalypse was directed by John McPhail. It was written by Alan MacDonald. The plot of Anna and the Apocalypse is Anna is just your average British teenager. She is headed off to school one day when the world around her kind of starts to shut down, but Anna doesn't really notice. Anna has her pods in and she is jamming to a song and singing along while in the background, zombies are eating her neighbors and chasing people down the street. At one point, she has one right behind her. It gets hit by a car that was driven by another person who had turned, and so she doesn't even notice that. She just makes her way slowly but surely, skipping and singing on the way to school. And I should probably just take a moment to say, now, I'm not going to do any spoilers for this. It's a movie from Christmas 2017. We're pushing, 3+ years of that movie out. So if you're worried about catching spoilers and this movie sounds interesting to you, go watch it. It's available on streaming, and then come back and check out the review. Just a little bit of spoiling my own review. I think it's totally a fun time, and you will enjoy it. And hey, if you're locked in for a while, it's just something that that I would recommend for you to check out, so you're not going to get harmed by it. So after reaching school, Anna meets up with her friends. Of course, her friends are not the cool kids. They're not the burnouts. They're just your average B-list high schoolers, but they all stick together. And it's coming up on Christmas time, so everyone's in a bit of a foul mood. They're just not kids who celebrate Christmas that much. And so they're looking for a little bit of escapism, and, it leads to a musical number in the cafeteria, which is pretty fun. But look at that, I almost got ahead of myself. Let's talk about the cast, shall we? Anna Shepherd, the titular character, is played by Ella Hunt. John, a guy in her crew, is played by Malcolm Cunning. Sarah Swire comes in as Steph North. Krista Laveau as Chris Wise. Marley Sayu as Lisa. Ben Wiggins, who is actually a really great British actor and a super nice guy as far as I know, but as a real asshole in this, Stu. Paul Kaye as Arthur Savage. And just a pretty well-rounded supporting cast of great British actors, none of which I had heard about before this, but all of which I thought did a fantastic job in this particular film. So they're at school. They realize that the zombie apocalypse is upon them. They live in a world where there are zombie apocalypse movies, and therefore they know how to survive. So they start making their way to their loved ones and slashing and bashing and crushing their way through zombie hordes in order to do it. There's the cover of the movie has Anna holding a sharpened candy cane, like a large sharpened candy cane above her head, and I was waiting for that moment to happen, and of course it didn't disappoint. She does at one point find a big candy cane, like a fake candy cane, and break it off, and it has a point, and then starts working on some zombies with it. Just all in all, it's one of those slasher, basher, good time movies, something that you can kind of get lost in when you really need a little bit of escapism. And along the way, they run into some of their classmates who were kind of mean and bullies to them during school and have not changed when it comes to the zombie apocalypse. This is one of the things that I think is missed a lot by a lot of zombie movies, that people won't change just because the world around them changes. If someone is a bit of an asshole in real life, they are going to be an asshole in the apocalypse. Now they just have more freedom to do things the way that they want to do it, and that is not necessarily a good thing. Anna and her B-list high school friends decide they are no longer going to be kicked around by these bullies, and they make moves to try and make things a little different now. Their first interaction, they fall victim to them, but when they see them later, they are the ones who take care of business. And along the way, they have the chance to kind of help people out who earlier in the movie didn't help them out. And I think that that is a kind of a good lesson as well, that even though these people turn on them and basically try to harm them, or allow harm to come to them so that others can escape, they don't do the same when the opportunity reverses itself. They do the right thing and help out these people. And basically Anna and John have this conversation about how they kind of have to be better. They have to show that civilization can continue, and they're really shining examples of that. There's a really fantastic scene in a bowling alley, which is probably the last place you would want to be in a zombie apocalypse based on this, but it's a place where they all felt safe because they all worked at the bowling alley. That's kind of how they knew each other, except for also from school. And then going to check on one of the members' grandmothers. But eventually the crew makes its way to their loved ones. Some find that the loved ones are gone or have turned already. Two of their little crew get bitten, and they allow themselves to be a distraction in order to let everyone else escape. And it's like one of those sweet moments that you kind of see coming just a few moments before it happens, and you're like, oh, don't do that. Oh, they did it. And it's great, but it's kind of like terrible at the same time. But then when they finally make their way back to the school, a place of safety, or so they think, they realize that the army's not coming because the army itself has become zombified. So the school is the last refuge for them. And come to find out, the school master, principal, like a mean guy who runs the school, is basically using some of the kids as bait for zombies to try and keep himself safe. And there's this final showdown between all of them, and of course Anna and her compatriot win, and the mean teacher gets bitten and dragged off into the crowd. And we're kind of left there with this sense that like they've done everything that they can do, and what's left of the world now. And they get out of the school with no particular place to go. And I can imagine that must be a really frightening experience, just that, like, we've escaped, yes, but at least, in most zombie movies, in most movies like this, there's a goal or a destination. And these kids have gone to the destination. They've been kind of ravaged along the way, and now they've made it all the way back to what they thought was refuge, and turns out it wasn't. And now you are free, and you are relatively safe. Well, you're still alive anyway, but you just don't know where to go. Well, at that moment, a friend of theirs shows up, and I say a friend, but somebody who they had kind of like a bad blood with at the very beginning of the movie. And I think it just sends a little message that, like, other people will change too. There will be people who become themselves and just take advantage, but there will be other people who really embrace the good, and those people will show up to help as well. And she does. They all jump in the car together, and they ride off into the sunset to get safety outside of the town of Little Haven, which is where most of this takes place. So again, I don't want to be super long-winded this week. I don't think anybody has the patience for it, but I would recommend the 93-minute runtime of Anna and the Apocalypse. It's just a good bit of escapism. If you like musicals, this movie's going to be for you. Like, all along this path that I've been describing, they have been singing songs which seem a little out of place because they're about zombies and about the world around them, but are super fun. And, even though it has all of the tenets of a zombie movie, it does it to maybe a more PC or more modern extreme. I think PC probably has a negative connotation. I don't mean that. It just with a more modern take. Like, if millennials did a zombie movie, this is what they would do. Like, yeah, not everybody becomes a good guy, and some people will still be bullies, even in the zombie apocalypse. And this is how we deal with them. But some people will change too. And we need to rely on each other when that time comes. So I think it's got a good message, just for the world right now. now. Things are a bit crazy. Not that the zombie apocalypse is upon us, of course, but you see videos of people fighting in stores over toilet paper and water and everything, and you think maybe everything's kind of done for. I think this is a good reminder that there are good people still out there, and that we all just need to come together, and if we do that everything's going to be okay. So if you don't like zombie movies, if you don't like blood and gore in your movies in the way that a zombie movie has that, you won't like this. But if you like zombie movies and you are okay with musicals, you can stand musicals, and especially if you like musicals, Anna and the Apocalypse is going to be for you. Forget that it's at Christmas time. It doesn't really play that much of an important role in it, except for some of the weapons and some of the scenes are set in Christmas settings. So musicals and zombies, if that sounds interesting to you like it did to me, I think you're going to enjoy it. And with a 93-minute runtime, it's not going to take up much of your time. It'll just let you escape for a little while, take a breath, take a refresher, recharge a bit, and then you can get back into the real world and all the stuff we have going on around us. Find Anna and the Apocalypse on streaming. I highly recommend it for a little bit of medicine for the world today. So there you have it, yet another episode of the Everyman Movie Review in the books. I want to say right at the top here, a big thank you to my patrons on Patreon. They got a preview of a bunch of new projects this week. They got a sound recording of a rap that no one else in the world is going to hear, just them. That's available on Patreon. And, if you sign up now, you too can hear that blasted recording that no one will ever hear. I'm working on some new books. They're going to get versions of that this week. Basically, it's a preview and a behind the scenes, and it's a limited group of people who get to see it. Only my patrons on Patreon get to check those out. So if you want to be one of the chosen few, join them. It's Patreon, patreon.com/Robert N. Cheek. That's patreon.com/Robert N. Cheek. And for as little as $1 a month, you get access to all of this behind the scenes stuff that they really seem to appreciate. And I do have to say a big thank you to them, not for just the monetary support, but for the moral support. It's great to get messages from people, whether it's on Patreon or on social media, just saying, this thing that you worked on was amazing. I checked out the rap, super funny. Thank you. And just giving people a little bit more, trying to give back in the only way that I can, which is basically this. And of course, you can find me on social media for free. That's at Robert N. Cheek on all your social networks, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Snapchat, everywhere, at Robert N. Cheek. I've been posting a lot. In fact, someone told me this week that my Instagram is a must-watch. Instagram story is the first thing that they check out in the morning. I always update it on the way to work, and they're excited to see what meme I have new posted, or what story I've posted, or just what's happened in the last 24 hours, because things can get a bit crazy at work and basically in the world around us too, right? But again, no matter what network it is, at Robert N. Cheek, you're going to find my account there. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Make sure you take the time to put a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video and of my reviews in general, or just the review of this movie. And if you are interested, if you want to see more stuff, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That'll let you know when the next video is up, whether it's an Everyman Movie Review or any of the other stuff that I have cooking, like Rob Explains Everything. If you're listening in podcast form, I really hope you're enjoying kind of the bonus stuff that I'm throwing in over there. New recordings and little extras on every single episode. You'll find that at anchor.fm/Everyman Movie Review, or Everyman Movie Review on all of your podcatchers of choice. And if you'd like to send me a message, you can do that at anchor.fm/Everyman Movie Reviews/message. And from there, you can send me a text or leave me a voicemail. And if you give me permission, I can't stress that enough, you have to give me permission, I can use it right on the podcast version, and people can hear exactly what you think about this show. And if you're doing one but not the other, just keep in mind you can check out the other one and see all of the content you're not seeing on your source. It's youtube.com/Rob Cheek and anchor.fm/Everyman Movie Review. And if you can't get enough of me, because why would you? You can check out new episodes of the Oh the Anthem podcast every Tuesday. I sit down every single week and get a new podcast out with my buddy Corey. We've been doing it for the last 5 years, and we are not stopping anytime soon. So make sure you check out ohtheanthem.com and Oh the Anthem on YouTube. We record the episodes live sometime between Saturday and Monday, and you subscribe to the channel, you get notifications when we go live on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, or on YouTube. We go live on all 4 platforms at the same time. And then on Tuesday, the new episode will be available everywhere, including on your podcatcher of choice. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for yet another episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Looking to get some merch going. If anybody has anything that they would really like to do, let me know. I'm looking for ideas. And if you have ideas for new projects or new movies, send me a message on social media, on YouTube, on Anchor. Any of those places is a great place to reach me. Or join and become one of my patrons, and then you can send me a message direct. But I hope everybody takes this time to be safe, please. Take care of yourself, take care of each other. The world is in a very serious place right now, and we just want to make sure that everyone makes it through this A-okay. But I hope you found a little bit of entertainment and a little bit of escape in this program, and come back for more. New episodes will be up every single Thursday, and then one day in between, whether or not that's Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So keep an eye out for the next episode, and until then, stay safe, and have a great week, everybody.